Hi, good afternoon. So I'm all clear. So just briefly, just to piggyback off of what Christina was saying. So, our social action group, we just wanted to conduct an interview and get meet you guys and get your ideas. I'm just so glad that you were able to meet us. So myself and Lucretia, um, we came up with some questions, and as a group, we thought that they would be, like really good questions in order to get your insight. So the first question that I do have was, what do you think about gender socialization?
Are you asking about Lucas or just Jesse?
Oh, I'm sorry, Lucas. I'm so sorry. But if just say you want to answer, it doesn't matter to me. Like, whoever wants to take a stab at it.
If you'd like to introduce yourselves beforehand as well, and we can go around and give our names and like our pronouns too. I mean, I can start. I'm Christina. I am the group leader. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. And whoever likes to go next.
My name is Frank. My pronouns are he, him.
I'm up. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. My name is Jasir. My pronouns are he, him, his.
I'm all clear. My pronouns are she and hers.
I'm Lucretia. My pronoun is she, hers.
Lucas. I'm God. I'm sorry, Olivia. I'm Lucas. My pronouns are he, him.
Hi, and I'm Olivia. My pronouns is she, her, and hers.
Awesome. Thanks. Thank you again for being here with us. And I know Marquia just started off with our interview questions. If you want to repeat the first one, and we can have Lucas or Jess here both start the conversation. Thanks.
So, sorry, I'll ask again. So the question that we came up collectively was, what do you think about gender socialization?
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, now it looks like Jasir is thinking I have a lot of thoughts about gender socialization. It's definitely real. I think it's kind of like a well-known thing that girls are typically more socialized to be docile and sensitive and emotional than boys, who are taught more aggression and power and not to feel sensitive things. And then a problem in and of itself is that we just have this boy-girl binary as kids anyway. So, I feel like it's damaging, and there's a reason that a lot of men act the way they act, I think, because of socialization. There's like this underlying feeling of just entitlement and insensitivity, and that's not for all men, but just like a general theme of masculinity. And yeah, sorry, I'm trying to wrap my head around my words, but just here, if you want to jump in the meantime, that's fine too.
Oh, you were saying a lot of what I was thinking. So yeah, I was trying to think of something else to say, but
yeah, it's hard. And I was just watching an episode of Fairly Odd Parents with my partner, and it kind of just slapped me in the face, because these are like kids shows where you learn unconscious bias. And I don't know if you all remember the episode where Timmy like becomes a girl because he wants to like be best friends with Trixie and find out if she likes him. And as soon as Timmy wished to be a girl, like the Cosmo and Wanda started treating him differently, right? They were like, oh, ma'am, like, let me open the door for you. And like, you're so delicate, and let me just treat you like a totally different person. And I feel like little nuances like that, even in cartoons, like that's real. That happens in real life. And I like don't remember seeing that episode as a kid and thinking that there's a problem with it, but as an adult and I learn about socialization and gender and all this stuff, like yeah, that definitely plays a part. It seems like such a minor thing, but you have that media representation, even like small nuanced ways that kind of reinforce what we already learn.
Yeah. I feel like the media we consume also plays a big part in socialization, and we don't really realize how like the jokes that we consume or even participate in are like affecting people in deeper ways, I guess. Yeah. Could y'all hear outside? Like I live in Philly, so like there's like a lot of stuff going on. Can you hear that?
No,
Okay.
I don't hear anything. My kids say I'm deaf, so I'm good. Mommy, you're deaf, you don't hear?
Thank you for answering that question. So the next question that we have was, how do you think society can educate themselves about the LGBT community?
I think a big step is like actually making an effort to like be around people that are LGBT. 'Cause I feel like a lot of people that are like very ignorant, like haven't even met a single queer person in their life. So then they just have like these preconceived notions about people because of what they see in the media, which is obviously very stupid because it's like mass media, like I don't know. But a lot of people don't actually go out of their way to like make connections with people that they are like, I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say, but like yeah, people need to make connections, I guess.
I'm
Would
sorry.
you say they
Yeah.
need to be like more open-minded, and especially
Yeah.
like with like teenagers now, and growing teenagers now, and even like social media. I mean, I know I'm not, I was around when they had like Vine and TikTok was starting off, but I feel like a lot of those type of platforms can either educate or really just like harm more. But yeah.
I also think I agree with that. Like you just need to know and interact with LGBTQ people, but also dig into the history. I think a lot of our history gets overlooked, and that trans people have been around since humanity started. It's just now we are safe to come out, and we safe to in some states to be yourself and get HRT and get gender affirming surgeries and therapies. Like trans people have always existed. We're just now choosing to acknowledge them. So I think looking into the history and how people transitioned or lived just like back then when it was literally life threatening. I mean, it's still life threatening to this day, but back then so much more so. And I think that that's where a lot of our pride needs to come from, is like, you could have died for being who you were back then and you did it anyway. And I don't know, I just think LGBTQ history is a big part.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with that. And I was gonna say, piggyback and say, I noticed like you said, with children, they should be, update, because kids could be cruel and tease each other. So I see like some cartoons that have that in it, not so much, but they definitely have like certain knowledge about the LGBT community in certain episodes. So I think that's important too. But the other question that I do have is, so this is more personal for you guys. Do you feel like being a member of the LGBT community is accepted by your own family?
Me personally, it really depends on the family member. Yeah. Like my mom, like she she accepts me, but I feel like my older family members just won't, especially because like I know how they think. So yeah.
I would say similar situation. I think my family was like half and half, where I transitioned and lost my brother and my dad and like that whole side of the family, but my mom and my sister are awesome. And it was just literally a divide down the middle. But I share the same sentiment that older family members are just harder to deal with.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for answering those set of questions. So my group member Lucretia, she's going to go
Yes.
next week, so and ask you a couple of questions. But I thank you so much and nice meeting you.
Hi. So I'm Lucrecia, and the first question I have for you guys is, at your job, do you feel that they are considerate about LGBTQ rights?
I don't have a job right now, but I know my last jobs, I don't think they were,
Oh.
especially because I worked at like a mom and pop shop, so it was like nobody's really gonna check you if you're like homophobic. So yeah.
Do you
Should I go
think
on
that
with-
sometimes
Oh,
like they should have outlines and policies? I mean,
Yeah.
or not to discriminate against people, like that's a policy
Yeah.
regardless, but does that come true to like real life situations? And how can we support the LGBTQ as like social workers, and coming to be social workers? And how do you blatantly just stop ignorance?
So my next question is similar to that.
oh, so can you guys still hear me? I had to turn my camera off because I was lagging severely, but I'm still here.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. To answer the question about my workplace, I do feel like my work supports LGBTQ rights, but that is because I work in a mental health clinic. So I'm sort of surrounded by social workers and mental health counselors. And it's actually like great because I am the only out trans therapist there. So we do partner with the Pride Center, and Pride referrals are prioritized on our wait list. So if we have an LGBTQ person who needs mental health support, but there's like a 6-month wait list, they can actually dump the wait list and get assigned to a therapist, because we have the understanding that mental health and LGBTQ folk, like that's the highest acuity, so they need support. So that's one way that my organization really does back LGBTQ rights, and they're always offering trainings and things like that. So I can say that I'm grateful that I do feel supported by my job.
So the next question that I have for you guys is, how can we show support to members of the LGBTQ community?
I think a big way to show support is to like be an advocate, be an advocate for the community, because there's a lot of anti-trans and anti-LGBTQ bills going on right now, and not a lot of people who aren't trans or queer or don't know people that are close to them who are. I feel like a lot of people aren't being vocal about their support. Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that. And I also think resource sharing is really important. Like if you know of a place where someone can go if they are suddenly homeless, or places to get food, like any kind of mutual aid type of thing, just
Absolutely.
I do have a question, guys, if that's okay. Can I jump in with a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, so for our participants, thank you guys again. But in terms of like gender-based bias, do you feel as people who identify as transgender, do you have biases against you? And can you give a specific example of when you felt that bias?
I definitely have one off the top of my head. It's it's always like little things, right? Like the microaggressions. But as you can see, like I'm well into my transition. I pass like as a cis white male, so I reap all those benefits. but I was confiding in one of my cis male friends. I've known him for months before I like told him I was trans. And then I finally said, like, this is just part of my identity. And then he had made a joke, like something like, like I thought I finally had one or something like that. One meaning like another male, like cis male best friend. So it's kind of like he said it in like a joking way, but that right? Like what do you mean you thought you had one, like another friend who has a penis? Because that's what you mean when you say that. So that was like the most recent one that I experienced interpersonally.
People sometimes when they say something, they don't think.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
That happens often
Yeah,
than
they're
not.
like just say things without realizing how others are gonna, feel or think about it. Anyways, I have another question, and the question is, what do you take pride in doing?
What are your hobbies? What do you like to do? What brings you joy?
Yeah.
I really like to make things. I knit and crochet, and
Ooh.
yeah,
That's cool.
and thank you. And I like to paint sometimes, and I want to get into pottery and stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Those are all very nice.
I wish that I was.
That's a lot. That's a lot of you have a lot of good things there. Yeah.
Yeah, all those things are very creative. I wish that
They
I was
are
that
very
creative.
creative.
What I take pride, I mean, I'm a huge like video game person. I love video games. I love books. I love like just absorbing information. I also take pride in my work a lot and just advocacy. But I also really like that you guys added this question at the end because it's very person centered. So thank you.
Absolutely.
So those were my questions, and thank you so much for answering them.
This was pretty informal, but we just want to say thank you again for coming, and we really appreciate you as humans also. And I love the work that you do, Lucas, in the mental health clinic. I mean, I don't know what my end goal with my social work degree will be, but I know it will be in the realms of advocating and helping others, and using like my platform to do so. But Frank, you have anything to add, or Olivia?
I mean, I agree too. I want to, advocate for people, and it's very good, Lucas, that you're working in a therapist setting, because you can advocate for your clients. If they go through something, you can help them and find resources and things like that. Any way that you can help a client, or maybe just anybody, is good. And I guess you have done your job as a social worker. So yeah. And we all here appreciate you guys, you two, sharing your stories and experience, and everything that you said. So thank you.
Thank you for doing this project. It means a lot.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, just here, do you have anything else to add?
Nah. I feel like everybody said everything. Yeah.
Jacinda, what's your major?
I double major in computer science and African American studies.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Yes. I know. Olivia had given us a little background about you guys. My
Yeah,
cousin went to Temple. It's a very cool place.
it's all right. Like,
It's all
all
right.
it's something.
Right. All right. Well, I mean, we can wrap up and yeah, once
Thank
again,
you.
thank you so much for
Enjoy the
It
weather.
was very
Well, wherever
brave
you
of
are.
you. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's 80
Yeah.
over here.
ah
Woo. I
I'm
wish.
sweating. I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
I'm a winter girl. I like the winter. I do like the cold, but
That's cool.
Olivia does
I
not
don't like
approve.
snow. Snow means shoveling, and I don't do shoveling. Sorry.
But
Thank you, everybody. This
Yeah.
is wonderful.
Yeah. It was great.
Yep. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks again,
Thank you.
Lucas. I mean, like we could have just like
Cool.